Hi everyone, welcome to Wellness Wednesdays. I'm so excited you're here. I have got to show you this gorgeous view, and then I'm going to find a place for us to perch so that we can talk about making decisions confidently. Check this out. I'm at this really beautiful resort. I mean, look at that. California is so like Mediterranean looking. Okay, we're going to walk and talk. Hey Lisa, thanks for joining. So today I want to talk to you guys about making decisions. Have you ever experienced trouble making decisions? And if so, what is it that gets in your way? Oh my gosh, can we just all acknowledge just how unbelievably beautiful it is back there? Hey Ashley, thanks for joining. So I want to talk today about what gets in the way. What's something that you've been struggling with? What's something that you feel like you just don't know what to do? Hey Junior, welcome. I also have to just show you guys. Am I the only person who's tempted to take that for a ride? Right? Like how fun would that be? So I want you to think about, when's the last time you really struggled to make a decision? And what is it that stopped you? I'm just gonna, maybe I should just sit right there. What is it that stopped you? Because what I want to get really clear on is that we stop ourselves. We get so stuck on thinking about what we need. And I'm sorry if this is like wobbly and it's like a little nauseating. I'm trying to find a place to put y'all. Oh my gosh, I am loving this magnetic stick. This is amazing. So what I want you to think about is, what is it that you really like? What is something that you've struggled with? And hearts and likes if you've resonated with this, if you've struggled to make a decision. Like, I'll share one with you recently. I had a choice come up and it was like, well, am I going to make it or am I not going to make it? It's really like, do I keep moving forward on what I'm doing? And ultimately that decision was, do I continue to work with my business coach, or do I switch it up and go find someone else? So what did that look like? That meant I explored different options. But then ultimately, like, when we're not moving forward, there's something happening below. And we really need to start to get clear on what's below, because you can pursue 500 different angles. You can look at all the different things that you could possibly do. You can research this until you're like, I am so bored with all the details that I have found. And then ultimately, hey Christy, we miss you at this mastermind. I just stepped outside of my mastermind. And ultimately, we need to really get clear on like what's going on below that's having us not be a yes. Because you not being a yes to something when you know that you want it, when you know that it's gonna help you, it's gonna transform it. Why? It's like, what is it? What is in the way? And I have to be real with you. It's doubt. Doubt stands in the way. And then why do you doubt yourself? What's going on? So like, I have learned over the years in the work that I teach to get super crystal clear on tunneling into so fast so that I can execute and make decisions faster. Because I don't need the 500 details. I just need to know, do I believe in myself? And if I believe in myself, then I believe I can get it done. So what is that going to look like? What is it going to change for you when you begin to believe in yourself? Because fundamentally, that's what it comes down to. When you do not choose to do something, you are choosing not to do it because you doubt yourself and your abilities. It's either a yes or a no. If it's a that sounds interesting, why is it just sounding interesting to you? Because there's something happening. And I got to be so honest with you. When you make a decision, you will be amazed at what can happen in your life. You can pull things off, but all of that wishy-washiness that's happening in the in-between, all of that, oh, I'm not so sure, I need to weigh the 500 options and figure it out and decide, hey, Andy, thanks for joining. It's what's getting in your way. So I'm going to ask you something. What is it that you need to do? Because if it's a yes or a no, and I'm not like, hey, hold up, a no is a firm decision. Because there are times that I've talked to people and I was like, you know what? That's a no. Like, haven't you ever like gone on a date with somebody and just been so clear that like, you're like, yeah, no, this is not going to work. Like, I'm sure you guys can connect to that, right? Like, in the process of dating, a lot of times we get really clear. Or like, have you ever been offered a job opportunity? Actually, in fact, I was just working with a client about this. They were just offered a job opportunity and they were not so sure. Guess what? If you're not sure, There's something happening below the surface, and we need to pull that up. We need to pull that out, because you cannot get the results that you want and desire in your life as long as you are not executing on making decisions. And when you are not making decisions, there is something standing in the way. There is something holding you back. Most often it's a limiting belief. I talk a lot about limiting beliefs. I talk a lot about the inner critic. In fact, I'm getting ready. Oh, hi people. It's a very nice resort that I'm at. I think I'll show you the view again in case you missed it. When you are not making a decision, you are holding yourself back. Anytime you're I don't know, maybe, I gotta think about it. Stop holding yourself back. Make the decision. Make the decision. A no is a no. I firmly hear a no on things. And you know what? I respect a no. A no is clarity. The wishy-washy is I need 500 details to figure out whether or not I want to do this. No, you don't. You want to know what one of my favorite strategies for making a decision is? I'll share it with you guys. I think this is a fantastic tip, and I need you to bear with me through the tip. It's something that I will use if I'm struggling with making a decision. I'll do it because it gets me crystal clear. So, one of my favorite strategies is to flip a coin. No, you are not relying your decision on the actual outcome of the coin. It's heads you do it, tails you don't. Doesn't really matter what it lands on. I get so clear on what is right for me because I am hitting on the feeling. So when I flip a coin and it's a no, and I feel disappointed, hey Fran, I haven't seen you in forever. When I flip a coin and it's a no, like if it lands I forget what I said, but if it's a no, then I go into the feeling. What was the feeling that came up behind that? Because that is how we make decisions. So when you are in between, sometimes you can do that strategy. You can do that strategy to get clear on well, how do I really feel? But I really want to be super honest with you. There are times that I do that, but ultimately I'm either a yes or I'm a no. And if I'm in between, if you're never just a clear yes, let's say I said, hey, let's go to Europe 3 weeks from now. Are you in or are you out? You're gonna know. Well, I'm not so sure. Why aren't you so sure? You want to go, right? Because if you're saying I'm not so sure, then you want it. Hey, Lucia, nice to see you. Then you want it. And so what I'm saying to you is that anytime you're in between yes or no, there's a limiting belief operating in between that space that's saying to you something to yourself. And most often it's the voice of doubt. It's the voice of your inner critic. It's a limiting belief coming to the surface that's saying, I don't actually believe in myself or my abilities or what's possible for me. And so my encouragement to you, this is not meant to be harsh, but my encouragement to you is to get really clear with yourself. If you are a yes, cool. If you are a no, great. If you're in between, why are you in between? I want you to stop, to slow down, to really ask yourself, what would have you not be a yes or a no? Again, so it's getting, I think my watch is celebrating. I just hit, you can't see the fireworks. 10,000 steps, whoop, whoop. That's what happens when you get up at 6 a.m. and go for a run. So again, it's really right, Lucia, the in-between is so true. And the truth is that the in-between, there's a limiting belief there. There's something holding you back because there are things that I'm a firm no on. A lot of people probably aren't gonna like this, but I don't actually like mac and cheese that much. So if you're gonna invite me, hey Kathy, so good to see you. I'm missing you at this mastermind, but I'll see you at the Zone soon. I really don't like mac and cheese that much. I know everyone loves it. It's like a comfort food, but I don't. So if you're gonna invite me to a mac and cheese fest, I ain't going. Not happening. There's nothing there for me to eat. It's all gluten. And then cheese is it's tasty, but I literally just peeled some cheese off of a burger easily. You don't like kale. Right, so Lucia, I've not heard of a kale fest yet, but I am in California, so there's bound to be one where there's a kale fest somewhere. So that's really when we're clear on what we like and what we don't like. Well, if it's a yes or if it's a no. And when it is in between, why are you in between? You're either in or you're out. Just like Lucia's not going to a kale fest and I'm not going to be at a mac and cheese fest. I don't want to go there. So you either know. And when you're in between, doubt. Doubt is happening here. Are you believing in yourself? Do you believe in your capacity? Do you believe that if you do this, you can actually get the results that you want? Because when I hesitate, I gotta be real with y'all. I use the exact strategies that I teach on myself. It's why I turn things around so fast. Because if you don't think that I don't have breakdowns, or if you don't think that I hesitate, then you're wrong. I'm human. I do these things too. And because I have strategies, I turn it around so fast. Because I know to dive right in. I know to say, okay, I got the information. I'm not a yes, I'm not a no. Oh, hello. What is having you not be a yes or a no? What is keeping you in the in between? And then I dig in and I say, okay, and why do I feel that way? Like, for real, guys, this is the actual strategy I use this. Hey, Suzanne, the actual strategy is what has me here? What has me in this in-between? Because it's in that in-between that I need to dig. And man, do I go shoveling. Like, for real, I don't know if you can see my hand movements, but I will for real go shoveling. Because I need to get so clear on why I'm not. And I'll tell you something, like, I was questioning whether or not to go forward with my business coach. You want to know why? Fear. Scared, thinking that I can't do it, thinking like, oh my gosh, how am I going to pull this off? And of course, because I just love to stretch myself, I choose goals that are just crazy. So if a goal makes you want to puke, you need to go after it. That's my actual operating strategy. So I hope that this is clear. I hope that this is making sense. Let me know if it is. I would love to help you solve something. What's a decision you've been struggling with? Pop it in the comment section. Again, this is Wellness Wednesdays. I do this every Wednesday at 3 p.m., including walking out of an amazing business mastermind with Tony Robbins' VP of Sales. Like, that's who I'm in the room with right now. How freaking cool is that? And I came here to be with y'all because this is my chance to connect with you. Thank you, Kathy. Fear, money, huge goals. Right. So when we have the goal and we're so scared, we got to dig into that fear because there's a belief that's driving that fear. So it's perfect. It's so perfect that you know it's fear. And now we need to go into it because what is the belief operating there that has you do it? And I'll be real. The belief that I sometimes encounter is I'm not going to be able to do it. And then I think to myself, well, Kate Dorsey, you have done so much. You moved across the country knowing nobody and just went all for it. Aren't you capable? Can't you pull other things off? Let's see. I missed this. What did it say? Diane, I missed your comment and here we go. Right, money. So money is the thing that you're struggling with. I hear you loud and clear. And what does that bring up for you? Is there a scarcity conversation happening? I mean, I've had money fears. Like, I closed my brick and mortar therapy practice. I moved across the country. What do you, like, and we have to think like, okay, yeah, that's scary, right? Like, okay, here we go. Like, figure out what you're going to do. And I've fortunately for me, I've been in the coaching field for a while. So it's like, okay, yeah, no, I can keep going. But it's really like, yeah, scarcity. So dig below the scarcity. Dig further. Like, we want to keep going because hey, Diana, you got to be so excited for your baby girl to be coming. I'm going to wave because I love waving. Dig below the scarcity. What's going on below the scarcity? Because there's a conversation happening. So we want to get so clear on that conversation because when you tunnel into the conversation, you're actually able to pull yourself out. And I want this to be something that you actually use. Hey, Wendy, I want this to be something that you use. So ultimately, it's either your yes or your no. When you're in between, there's something happening here. And that is the limiting belief. That's the doubt. That's the fear. And then what is the actual conversation? Because the actual conversation is actually your inner critic. And when we can bring that to the surface, we can begin to challenge that. So that's really what I'm getting at. We've got to dig into what's happening here. So Diana said scarcity. Kathy said fear. Dig further. Those are the emotion. That's the emotion. That's the issue. But what is the actual thing you're saying to yourself? Hey, Michelle, welcome. You actually want to dig into it because when we dig into it, now we can do something with that. Just like I did something with my own. So my own decision about whether or not to move forward with my business coach. So loud. I am doing this at a hotel. My business mastermind is back here. Cannot wait to go back. I swear, Jim, who works with Tony Robbins, is just like blowing my mind, which is amazing. So again, the in-between, dig into it, because you're either a yes or you're a no. Anytime you're in between, there's a limiting belief happening. Your inner critic is going to tell you it. Yeah, it's that voice. It's the voice that says you can't do this. And we have a choice. We ultimately have a choice. We can say that voice is right, and then I'm going to ask you, yeah, pace. Yep, totally. I'm actually going to be going into marketing mastery. So, woohoo! So what we're really looking at is what's here. And when we dig into what's there, a lot of times we're going to come into doubt. Doubt in our abilities, doubt in our beliefs, doubt in what's possible, doubt in how we can. I will say hi to Leslie. She's actually I think she's in leadership too. Actually, like looking at, okay, so how can I bring that to the surface? I really want this to be helpful for you guys. So again, I do this live every week on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern. If you're watching this on a replay, if you're catching this in my group, or if you're watching it through YouTube, please leave a comment. If there's a question, I am so happy to reach out to you. I want you to use these strategies. These are absolutely really, hey Candy, these are really helpful, and it's better when we use them. It's better when we get to really take that and run forward with it, because these are like, I'm a licensed therapist. This is what I've learned. This is what I've enhanced in over 12 years of work as a therapist. And so you really want to use these, because this is really helpful, because nothing's going to change if you don't take something like this and use it. You know, if you're just catching this, if I randomly popped up on your feed, this is coming into your sphere for a reason. Trust it, listen to it, take it, reach out to me. I'll connect with you. I want you to live your best life, but part of your best life comes down to trusting yourself, and you've got to figure out, what is it? What's in the in-between? What are you saying to yourself? Like, what stops you? What stops you from having everything that you want? From having the money that you want, the guy that you want, the career that you want, maybe the family, the friends. It's showing up. That limiting belief will show up everywhere. If you're a yes, cool. If you're a no, cool. If you're in between, dig. I'm going to jump off. If you have any questions, feel free. I'll definitely be active later on. Let's go look at that view one more time. Come with me. It's just so pretty. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I don't know how to expand it. Just so unbelievably gorgeous and amazing. Look at that. So cool. I don't know about y'all, but I'd love to get on one of those boats. Wouldn't that be so awesome? Like, woohoo! All right, so much love. Reach out to me if you've got any questions, or leave a comment. So happy to connect. All right, bye everyone. Have a great rest of your Wednesday.